The giant ships appeared without warning. One moment the sky was normal, and the next, 7 massive vessels hung above major cities across Earth. They were smooth and silver, shaped like perfect ovals with no visible windows or doors. For 3 days, they did nothing but hover silently. Panic spread quickly. Some people ran to churches and temples. Others cleared store shelves of food and water. Military forces around the world went on high alert, but no one fired. Everyone waited for the aliens to make the first move. On the 4th day, the ships sent a message to every electronic device on Earth at once. The aliens called themselves the Galactic Collective, an alliance of 17 different space-traveling species. They had been watching Earth for decades. Now they wanted to talk. Kate Winters stood at the window of her apartment in Washington, D.C., looking up at the ship that floated above the National Mall. As one of the State Department's best negotiators, she wasn't surprised when her phone rang. "Ms. Winters, the President needs you at the White House." "Now," said the voice on the other end. 2 hours later, Kate sat in her room with 20 government officials. The President looked tired as he spoke. "The aliens have asked for a face-to-face meeting. They say they come in peace. They want to invite us to join their community of planets." He turned to Kate. "Ms. Winters, you have the best record for difficult negotiations. We need you to represent Earth." Kate felt her throat go dry. "Sir, I negotiate trade deals, not first contact with aliens." "You understand people, Kate. That's what we need right now." The meeting with the aliens was set for the next day. Kate spent the night reading every science fiction book she could find, looking for ideas. It wasn't much, but it was all she had. Major Alan Grant was assigned as her military advisor. He was tall with short gray hair and serious eyes. Kate noticed his hand never strayed far from his gun. "I don't trust them," Alan said as they waited in the special tent set up for the meeting. "Nobody travels across space just to be friendly." "Maybe they do," Kate said, but she shared his doubts. When the aliens finally appeared, they weren't what anyone expected. The 3 representatives of the collective were all different species. One looked like a tall blue giraffe walking on 2 legs. Another resembled a cloud of purple gas contained in a clear suit. The third was small and furry with 6 arms. The blue giraffe spoke first, its words translated through a small floating device. "We greet Earth with joy and friendship. For too long your world has developed alone. Now it is time for you to join the greater community of space." The talks lasted for hours. The aliens offered amazing gifts, cures for diseases, clean energy technology, and faster-than-light travel. All they asked in return was for humans to follow their rules and join their collective. "Why now?" Kate asked. "Why did you wait until now to contact us?" The aliens looked at each other before the furry one answered. "Your species reached the necessary development stage. You are ready now." But something in the way they said it made Kate suspicious. She noticed how the aliens flinched whenever a human moved too quickly, how they kept more distance than seemed necessary. As the meeting ended, Kate overheard the purple cloud alien whisper to the others. The translator caught only a few words, more aggressive than the report suggested. Later, Kate met with Alan to share her thoughts. "They're afraid of us," she said. "Did you see how they backed away when you stood up?" Alan nodded. "But why would advanced aliens fear humans?" "I don't know, but they're hiding something, and I'm going to find out what it is." 3 weeks later, Kate and Alan were invited to visit the main ship. As they prepared to board the alien shuttle, Kate couldn't shake the feeling that this wasn't a simple invitation. It felt more like they were being assessed, studied, and somehow humanity was already failing the test. The alien shuttle was bigger inside than it looked from the outside. Kate and Alan sat with 3 other humans chosen for the visit. Dr. Olivia Martinez, a scientist with curly black hair and quick eyes. Paul Bennett, who studied different cultures and spoke 6 languages. And Richard Dawson, an engineer who couldn't stop staring at the shuttle's controls. "No buttons," Richard whispered. "How do they fly this thing?" No one answered. They were all too busy looking out the windows as Earth grew smaller below them. The ride to the main ship took less than an hour. When they arrived, Kate pressed her face to the window. The alien mothership was enormous, like a floating city made of metal and light. It spun slowly, creating its own gravity. "Welcome to Unity Station," said their guide, the furry six-armed alien who called himself Zix, the heart of the Galactic Collective. The 5 humans followed Zix through shining hallways, where aliens of all shapes and sizes moved about their business. Some looked almost human. Others were so strange that Kate couldn't tell which end was the front. They were taken to a large round room with windows that looked out at the stars. Food and drinks waited for them on a table. "Please enjoy our hospitality," Zix said. "Tomorrow, you will meet the High Council." After Zix left, Richard picked up what looked like a blue apple. "Should we really eat their food?" "They gave us special human food," Olivia said, pointing to a small sign with Earth writing. "They've been studying us for a while." That night, they slept in comfortable rooms that somehow knew their favorite temperatures and lighting. Kate couldn't shake the feeling that everything was too perfect, too carefully planned. The next morning, they were separated. "Each of you will receive a personal tour based on your interests," Zix explained. Ellen frowned. "We'd prefer to stay together." "That is not the plan," Zix said, his fur rippling in what might have been annoyance. "The council has arranged special experiences for each of you." Kate ended up with a tall green alien named Ven, who took her to see the station's diplomatic center. It was impressive, with hundreds of aliens working together, but Kate noticed strange things. When she walked into rooms, conversations stopped. Some aliens moved away from her path. "Why do they act like they're afraid of me?" Kate finally asked. Ven's long neck twisted uncomfortably. "Not afraid. Cautious. Humans are different." "Different how?" "Your species developed in unusual ways. Most intelligent species evolve toward peace. Humans," Ven trailed off, "are violent." Kate finished. "Unpredictable," Ven corrected. "Please, this way." As they walked, Kate saw a security door with strange markings. When she paused to look at it, Ven quickly guided her away. But not before Kate noticed the symbol on the door was surprisingly familiar. It looked like a human silhouette with a line through it. Later, when the humans met for dinner, Kate shared what she had seen. "I saw something similar," Alan said quietly. "Their weapons storage. Pathetic, really. Like children's toys. But the security protocols around our quarters are intense." Olivia leaned forward. "The science labs are amazing, but they wouldn't let me see their biological research." "And I found this," Paul said, sliding a small device across the table. "It's a translator that was left on. Listen." He pressed a button and alien voices spoke. "Containment protocols are holding. The humans suspect nothing. Phase 1 is proceeding." Kate felt a chill. "Containment? What are they containing?" "Us," Alan said. "I think they're containing us." Richard looked pale. "But why invite us here if they're afraid?" "That's what we need to find out," Kate said. "And I think we should start by getting into that room with the human symbol." They didn't notice the small camera in the corner of their dining room, nor the nervous aliens watching their every move from a hidden control center deep within the station. Getting into the restricted room wasn't easy. The humans waited until what passed for night on the space station, when the corridors were less crowded. "According to the station map I memorized, there should be a service tunnel that connects to that section," Richard whispered as they gathered in Kate's room. Alan nodded. "I'll go with Richard. The rest of you stay here. If we're caught, you can claim you didn't know." Kate shook her head. "No way. We go together or not at all." They moved quietly through the dimly lit corridors. Paul had figured out how to use his translator device to interfere with the security cameras, creating a loop of empty hallway footage. "It won't last long," he warned. "Maybe 15 minutes." The service tunnel was narrow and hot. They crawled on hands and knees until Richard found the access panel he was looking for. With Olivia's help, he bypassed the lock, and they slipped into a dark room filled with humming machines. Some kind of data storage, Olivia guessed, running her hands over the smooth surfaces. Let me see if I can access it. While Olivia worked, Kate and Alan explored the room. In the center stood a round table with controls that lit up when Kate approached. A hologram appeared, a 3D map of the galaxy with thousands of tiny lights. Look, Kate pointed to a small blue dot at the edge of one spiral arm. I think that's Earth. When she touched the blue dot, the hologram zoomed in to show their solar system. Then a timeline appeared, stretching back thousands of years. Strange symbols flashed beside images of Earth at different periods. I can't read their language, Kate said, frustrated. But I can, Richard called from across the room. He held up a small device. This is a personal translator, better than the ones they gave us. With Richard's help, they began to understand what they were seeing. The timeline showed Earth being visited by aliens many times throughout history, but something had gone wrong each time. These are records of contact, Olivia said, reading over Richard's shoulder. Ancient humans somehow traveled to space before. They met other species. And it didn't go well, Alan added grimly, pointing to symbols that Richard translated as conflict, aggression, and quarantine. As they dug deeper, the truth became clear. Earth had been placed under observation thousands of years ago. Early humans had discovered space travel through means now lost to history. When they encountered other species, the results were catastrophic. They weren't ready for us, Kate whispered. Our ancestors were too aggressive, too unpredictable. A new hologram appeared when Richard pressed another button. It showed simulations of human behavior compared to other species. In crisis situations, aliens worked together calmly. Humans fought, competed, and often turned violent. But that's not fair, Olivia protested. They're judging all of humanity based on ancient history. Alan was looking at another display. Maybe not so ancient. Look at these. The screen showed military reports from alien observers who had visited Earth secretly during major wars. World War II, Vietnam, the Middle East conflicts. Alan read. They've been watching us kill each other for centuries. Kate felt sick. So they didn't invite us to join them. They're containing us, making sure we don't get out into the galaxy and cause trouble. Suddenly, lights flooded the room. The door slid open to reveal Zix and several tall, gray aliens they hadn't seen before. They carried devices that might have been weapons. Humans, Zix said, his fur standing on end. You have accessed restricted information. This confirms our concerns about your species. One of the gray aliens stepped forward. You will be escorted back to your quarters. Tomorrow, you will meet the High Council to learn the truth about humanity's place in the galaxy. As they were led away, Kate caught Alan's eye. The truth was beginning to make terrible sense. Humans weren't being welcomed. They were being judged. The High Council chamber was a huge round room, with seats rising in circles like an ancient theater. Hundreds of aliens from different species watched as Kate and her companions were led to the center. Above them, a clear dome showed the stars and the distant blue speck of Earth. 7 aliens sat at the highest level. These were the council leaders, each representing major species in the collective. At the center sat a tall, thin alien with pale skin that seemed to glow slightly. Its eyes were large and completely black. I am Elo, head of the High Council, it said, voice soft but carrying across the chamber. Humans of Earth, you were not meant to discover our concerns so soon. But now we must speak openly. Screens appeared around the room, showing images of Earth's history, wars, weapons, violence, but also art, music, and scientific achievements. Your species is unique in our galaxy, Elo continued. All other intelligent life evolved toward cooperation and peace. Violence decreased as technology advanced. But humans, it paused. Humans became more efficient at violence with each new technology. Kate stepped forward. That's not fair. Yes, we have wars, but we also create beauty and help each other. We're not just killers. No one claims you are only violent, said another council member, a floating mass of tentacles and eyes. But your instincts are different. When threatened, you do not seek harmony. You fight. When challenged, you do not accept natural limits. You overcome them, no matter the cost. Alan crossed his arms. And that's bad. It is dangerous, Elo replied. We have run simulations of humanity's expansion into the stars. Within 300 years, humans would control most of the galaxy. Other species would serve you or be destroyed, not because you are evil, but because that is your nature. The screens now showed simulations of human ships spreading across star systems, human colonies growing and taking resources faster than other species could compete. 10,000 years ago, your ancestors discovered space travel through means now lost to your history, Elo explained. They encountered the Merle, one of our oldest member species. Images showed what looked like ancient Earth ships meeting alien vessels. The Merle are peaceful philosophers who welcomed your kind. Within 20 years, humans had taken 3 of their worlds and enslaved thousands. It took our combined forces to push humans back to Earth and remove the knowledge of space travel from your civilization. Kate felt sick. That was 10,000 years ago. We've changed. Have you? Asked Elo. Your recorded history shows constant warfare. Even now, your nations threaten each other with weapons that could destroy your whole planet. Olivia stepped forward. But we're learning. Each generation is more peaceful than the last. Perhaps, said Elo. That is why we have been watching. Recent centuries showed promise. Some on this council argued it was time to welcome humans properly. Others disagreed. We compromised with this test, bringing a small group to observe directly. And we failed your test by looking in that room, Paul said. You broke rules on your first day here. You demonstrated exactly the curiosity and disregard for boundaries that concerns us. Richard laughed suddenly. You're afraid of us. All of you advanced aliens with your amazing technology. You're terrified of what humans might do. The room went quiet. None of the aliens denied it. Kate saw her chance. You should be concerned, but not afraid. Humans are adaptable. We change, we grow. Yes, we fight. But we also protect those who can't fight for themselves. Have you ever needed that in your peaceful galaxy? Have you ever faced an enemy you couldn't talk your way out of? Elo and the other council members looked at each other. Something in their posture made Kate think she had struck a nerve. The galaxy has been peaceful for millennia, Elo said finally, but danger exists beyond our borders. That is not your concern. Maybe it should be, Alan said quietly. Maybe that's why we're different. Maybe the galaxy needs a species that knows how to fight. A murmur ran through the watching aliens. Kate realized Alan might have just given them a way forward, a reason for humanity to exist in their perfect, peaceful galaxy. After the meeting with the High Council, the humans were not sent back to Earth as they expected. Instead, they were told they would stay on the station for 6 months to participate in what Elo called compatibility exercises. We will see if humans can truly work with other species without dominating them, Elo explained. If you pass these tests, Earth will receive limited privileges in the collective. Each day, the 5 humans worked with different alien groups on problem-solving tasks. They built structures together, solved puzzles, and discussed ethical questions. At night, they compared notes. They're testing our patience, Alan said one evening. Today they gave me faulty tools on purpose to see if I would get angry. Kate nodded. And have you noticed how they record everything we do? Every word, every expression. On the 3rd week, Paul noticed something strange. During a negotiation exercise with a group of plant-like aliens, one of them deliberately ruined the agreement at the last minute. They wanted us to fail, Paul told the others. The translator picked up one of them whispering, "Make them show their true nature right before it happened." More incidents followed. Food that made Richard sick. A simulation that trapped Olivia in a dark, shrinking room until she panicked. Messages that appeared to come from one human to another, saying hurtful things that were never actually sent. Someone is sabotaging us, Kate realized, trying to make us look bad. Ellen suggested they take turns watching each other during the night. On the fourth night, Paul caught something on the small camera he had hidden in their common room. A gray alien entered and placed something in their food processor. The next morning, Kate called for a meeting with Zix. "We know what's happening," she said, showing him the video. "Someone wants us to fail these tests." "Why?" Zix's fur rippled with what they now recognized as distress. "The collective is divided about humans. Some believe you can join us peacefully. Others," he hesitated, "others believe your kind should never leave your solar system. They want us quarantined forever," Kate said. "Or worse," Zix admitted quietly. "Some argue that Earth is too dangerous to leave alone. That humans will eventually develop their own space travel again and spread unchecked." Kate felt cold. They would destroy Earth. Not destroy, but perhaps limit your technology, keep you primitive. It has been done with other dangerous species. That night, the humans met secretly to make a plan. "We need allies," Kate said. "Not all the aliens fear us." Zix seems almost friendly now. Paul nodded. "The musical aliens, the harmonics, actually enjoy working with us. They said humans understand art in ways they find fascinating." "And the engineer species with all the tentacles," Richard added. "They were impressed with how quickly I solved their power problem." Over the next weeks, the humans worked harder to build friendships. They learned alien customs, shared Earth music and stories, and showed respect for different ways of thinking. Slowly, some of the aliens began to warm to them. Then came their biggest challenge. All 5 humans were placed in a simulation of a disaster on a space station. With them were representatives from 10 alien species. Air was running out. Not everyone could be saved. The human response surprised everyone. Instead of fighting for themselves, they organized the aliens into teams. They found ways to repair systems the aliens thought were hopeless. They even rigged a way to send messages for help using almost no power. When the simulation ended, Elo himself came to speak with them. Most species choose orderly sacrifice in such situations. The oldest die, so the youngest live. It is logical, but you humans refuse to accept the scenario as given. You changed the rules. Kate smiled. "That's what humans do. We don't accept no-win situations." Elo's expression was unreadable. "That is precisely what concerns us, but it may also be what we need." The next day, alarms blared throughout the station. It was not a test. The collective was under attack. The station shook as something hit it. Red lights flashed everywhere, and aliens ran in all directions. An announcement in multiple languages echoed through the halls. "What's happening?" Kate asked Zix when they found him. "The Vorex," Zix said, his fur completely flat with fear. "They have returned." The humans were quickly taken to the command center where the High Council gathered. On large screens, they saw strange ships attacking collective worlds. The ships were black and shaped like spiders with long legs. "The Vorex are not like us," Elo explained as they watched. "They are partly machine, partly living. They come from beyond our galaxy. We thought they were gone forever." "How many ships do they have?" Ellen asked, studying the screens. 43 attack vessels that we can count," answered one of the council members. "Our defense fleet has only 22 ships." Olivia frowned. "Do you have weapons?" The aliens looked uncomfortable. "We have defensive shields," Elo said, "and some energy tools that can disable ships. But you don't have real weapons," Ellen finished. "You haven't fought a war in thousands of years." "Peace has been our way for generations," Elo said. "We negotiate. We find common ground." On the screen, a Vorex ship fired on a small collective planet. A whole city disappeared in a flash of light. You can't negotiate with that, Richard said quietly. The council members looked at each other. Then Elo stepped forward. Humans, he said formally, we find ourselves in need of skills our peaceful society has lost. Skills your kind has kept sharp through your difficult history. Kate understood immediately. You want our help fighting the Vorax. Not just fighting, Elo corrected. Planning. Strategy. Your minds work differently from ours. You understand conflict in ways we have forgotten. Ellen moved to the main display. Show me your ships, their capabilities, and what you know about the enemy. For the next few hours, the humans reviewed everything the collective knew about the Vorax and their own defenses. The news wasn't good. Your shield technology is impressive, Alan said finally, but your ships are too slow. The Vorax will pick them off one by one. Can you help us? Zix asked. His fur was still flat with fear. Kate looked at her companions. They nodded. Yes, she said. But you need to contact Earth. We need our own military leaders involved. Elo hesitated. That would mean revealing everything to your planet, ending the quarantine. You don't have a choice, Kate said firmly. This is what humans do best. Let us help you. After a brief discussion, the council agreed. A message was sent to Earth explaining everything. The collective, the quarantine, and the Vorax threat. Earth's leaders were shocked but quickly understood the situation. Within days, human military experts were streaming to the station through special portals the collective opened. General Samantha Rogers took command of the human contingent, working directly with Alan. We need to change how your ships fight, the general told the collective leaders. No more neat formations, no more predictable patterns. The Vorax expect that. The aliens struggled to understand the human battle plans. They had always fought, when they had to fight at all, in ordered, logical ways. The human approach seemed chaotic, even reckless. Trust us, Kate told Elo when he expressed doubts. This is what makes humans different. We think around corners. We do the unexpected. As the first human strategies were implemented, the collective suffered fewer losses. But the Vorax were learning too. They began targeting the ships that showed human-style tactics. They've identified our weakness, General Rogers said grimly during a strategy meeting. They know which ships have human advisors. Then we need to be on all the ships, Alan said. The general shook her head. We don't have enough people. Then we need to change the game entirely, Kate said. We need to stop playing defense. The aliens looked confused, but the humans in the room nodded in understanding. The time had come to show the collective what humans could really do when threatened. 3 Earth weeks after the first attack, the humans unveiled their plan. Instead of keeping the collective ships in defensive positions around their worlds, they would take the fight to the Vorax. Attack them. Elo asked, sounding shocked. We have never launched a first strike against any species. They already struck first, General Rogers pointed out. We're just striking back. The plan was bold. Human pilots would join alien crews on the fastest collective ships. They would target the Vorax supply lines instead of meeting their warships directly. Meanwhile, Richard and Olivia had been working with collective engineers to modify their technology. Your energy tools aren't weapons, Richard explained to the council. But with some changes, they can disable Vorax ships completely. Olivia showed them a small device, and we've created these translators that can interfere with Vorax communications. They won't be able to coordinate their attacks. Not all the collective members were happy with these developments. Some worried that humans were changing them too quickly, making them more violent. Kate overheard 2 council members talking. Once we start thinking like humans, where will it end? Will we become conquerors too? But when 3 more collective worlds were attacked, even the doubters agreed they had no choice. The first battle under the new strategy took place near a small moon where the Vorax had set up a base. 7 collective ships, each with human advisors, approached from different directions instead of in formation. The Vorax were caught by surprise. It's working. Alan said as they watched from the command center. The collective ships darted in and out, firing their modified energy tools. 2 Vorex ships drifted powerless in space. Then something changed. The Vorex ships began broadcasting a signal that affected the alien crews. The peaceful species of the collective had never developed resistance to psychological warfare. Many became confused or paralyzed with fear. "They're attacking our minds," Zix gasped, his fur completely white with terror. But the humans were unaffected. They took control of the ships when the alien crews couldn't function. "This is Lieutenant Joe Harris on Ship 3, came a voice over the communication system. "My alien crew is down, but I'm still flying. Continuing mission." One by one, human voices reported the same across the fleet. They kept fighting when the aliens couldn't. What had been the collective's greatest weakness, human aggression, was now their greatest strength. The battle ended with 4 Vorex ships destroyed and 3 disabled. The collective had lost only 1 ship. It was their first clear victory. Back on the station, the mood had changed. Aliens who once avoided humans now approached them with something like respect. Some even tried to learn human gestures like handshakes and high fives. "They see us differently now," Kate told Alan as they watched a group of small blue aliens practicing a military salute with some human officers. "They needed us," Alan said. "All those peaceful species with their advanced technology. They never needed someone who could fight until now." The war continued for weeks. Humans arrived from Earth in greater numbers, bringing not just military expertise, but also creative thinking that the logical aliens often lacked. Richard and Olivia worked nonstop to adapt collective technology into better defenses and even true weapons. The Vorex, facing unexpected resistance, changed tactics. They sent a message to the collective offering to negotiate. But it was a trap. When a delegation of collective representatives approached for talks, the Vorex attacked them. All would have been lost if not for Kate, who had insisted on coming along with a human security team. When the Vorex revealed their true intentions, the humans fought back fiercely, helping the alien diplomats escape. "You saved us," Elo said when they returned to the station. "Even though we kept your people prisoners in your own solar system for thousands of years." "Why?" Kate looked at the alien leader steadily. "Because that's what humans do. We protect our friends, even new ones." For the first time, Elo placed a hand on Kate's shoulder, a human gesture of connection he had learned. "Perhaps we have misjudged humanity from the beginning." 2 months after the first attack, the tide of war turned. The Vorex, faced with humans' unpredictable strategies and newly weaponized collective technology, began to retreat. When they realized they could no longer win through direct combat, they tried one final desperate move. A massive Vorex ship appeared near Earth. Its message was simple: surrender or they would destroy humanity's homeworld. "They think we're your weakness," General Rogers told the Collective Council. "They believe you'll give up the war to save us." But the Vorex had misjudged both species. Instead of creating division, the threat united humans, and the collective like never before. Every available ship rushed to Earth's defense. The battle for Earth was the largest of the war. Over 40 collective ships, many piloted by human alien teams, faced the Vorex attackers. Kate and Alan were on the command ship with Elo and Zix. "We fight together today," Elo announced to the fleet. "For Earth, for the collective, for peace." The battle lasted for hours. Collective ships, now moving with human-inspired unpredictability, darted around the larger Vorex vessels. Richard's modified weapons disabled Vorex systems one by one. Olivia's communication jammers kept the enemy from coordinating. When the Vorex flagship finally turned away from Earth and jumped into deep space, cheers erupted across the fleet. The remaining enemy ships quickly followed. The war wasn't completely over, but the message was clear. The combined strength of humans and the collective was too much for the Vorex to overcome. 1 month later, a formal ceremony was held on Unity Station. Representatives from Earth and all collective worlds gathered in the Great Council Chamber. Kate, Alan, Richard, Olivia, and Paul stood with General Rogers as Elo addressed the assembly. "Today marks a new chapter in galactic history," Elo said. "For millennia, we believed humanity was a problem to be contained. We feared your aggression, your competitiveness, your refusal to accept limitations." He paused. "We were wrong." A new treaty was signed that day. Earth was not just admitted to the collective, but given a special status. Humans would serve as protectors, helping to defend peaceful worlds that had lost the ability to defend themselves. "We offer our technology, our science, our art," Elo continued. "You offer your strength, your courage, your unique way of thinking. Together, we are stronger than apart." After the ceremony, Kate found herself looking out a window at the stars. Earth was visible as a small blue dot in the distance. Zix joined her, his fur now a relaxed purple color that indicated happiness. "What are you thinking?" he asked. "About how strange life is," Kate replied. "A few months ago, you were keeping us in quarantine because you thought we were too dangerous. Now you want us to protect you. The very qualities that frightened us saved us," Zix said simply. "Your kind evolved through conflict, which made you strong. Our kinds evolved through cooperation, which made us advanced but vulnerable. Perhaps both paths were necessary." Kate smiled. "So humans aren't the problem after all." "Oh, you are still a problem," Zix said, making the chirping sound they now recognized as laughter. "You are loud, impatient, and you break rules constantly. But you are a problem the galaxy needs." As ships departed from the station carrying humans and aliens back to their respective worlds, Kate thought about the future. Earth would change with access to collective technology. The collective would change too, learning from humanity's strengths. There would be challenges ahead. Some humans would want to use alien technology for war. Some aliens would still fear human aggression. Finding balance would take time. But as Kate watched human and alien children playing together in one of the station's gardens, she felt hope. The children didn't see each other as dangerous or different, just as friends. Maybe that's the real solution, she thought. Not changing who we are, but learning from each other. Not peace through separation, but strength through diversity. The day humanity got dreaded had become the day humanity found its place among the stars.